Kratos has killed gods, destroyed Olympus, and massacred countless innocent people. But there's one act in his past that's so dark, so twisted, that even the god of war himself can't speak about it.
I will have my revenge!
What really happened that night. Everything about his relationship with Atreus suddenly makes terrifying sense. This is the secret that haunts Kratos more than anything else. If you've played God of War, you know Kratos as the overprotective father, trying to leave his violent past behind. He's constantly warning Atreus to control his rage, to be better than he was. But why is Kratos so obsessed with this? Most players think it's just about the gods he killed or the destruction of Greece. But there's a specific moment in Kratos' past that the games only hint at, a moment so horrific that it fractured his mind and changed him forever. Today, we're diving into the one act Kratos committed that even Ares, the literal god of war, thought went too far. And trust me, once you see the evidence hidden throughout the games, you'll never look at Kratos the same way again. Throughout every God of War game, Kratos is haunted by nightmares. We see flashes of his past, his family, the village he destroyed. But here's what most players miss. The games never show us the complete picture of that night. There are deliberate gaps, moments that fade to black, screams that echo without context. In the original God of War, we're told that Ares tricked Kratos into killing his wife Lysandra and daughter Calliope. It's presented as a tragic accident in the heat of battle. Kratos enters a blood rage, slaughters everyone in the temple, and only realizes what he's done after the deed is complete. But if you pay attention to the environmental storytelling, the subtle dialogue, and the mythological parallels, something doesn't add up. First, let's talk about the temple itself. In God of War, Ascension, and the original game, we learn that Kratos was attacking a temple of Athena, the goddess of wisdom. But here's the crucial detail that's easy to miss. This wasn't a military target. This was a sanctuary, a place where civilians sought refuge during wartime. And Lysandra and Calliope? They weren't there by accident. The Oracle of Athens, who served Athena, had specifically told Lysandra to take shelter there. Athena knew Kratos was coming. She knew what Ares had planned, and she allowed it to happen. But why would Athena, who later becomes Kratos' ally, let his family die? Unless she needed Kratos to experience this specific trauma for a reason. Here's where it gets really dark. Before that night, Kratos had sworn a blood oath to Ares. In ancient Greek tradition, a blood oath meant absolute obedience. No exceptions, no hesitation. Ares had complete control over Kratos' actions. Now, in God of War 3, there's a blink and you'll miss it moment. When Kratos confronts Zeus, Zeus says, "You chose the path of vengeance. You killed with your own hands. Not Ares made you kill. Not you were tricked." He specifically says Kratos killed with his own hands. The game wants you to think this is just Zeus being cruel. But what if Zeus is revealing a truth Kratos has been hiding from himself? What if, in that blood rage, Kratos recognized his family and killed them anyway because the oath compelled him to? The Oracle cursed Kratos by binding the ashes of his dead family to his skin, making him the ghost of Sparta. But here's what the games never explain. In Greek mythology, this type of curse required the victim's willing participation in the death. You can't bind someone's ashes to their killer unless that killer, on some level, chose the act. The curse wouldn't take hold otherwise. That's why Kratos' ashes never fade, never wash away, because deep down, beneath the rage and the justifications, Kratos knows he had a choice in that temple. And in God of War 2018, when Kratos tells Atreus, "We must be better than this," while looking at his ashen hands, he's not talking about being better than the gods. He's talking about being better than the man who had a choice and chose violence anyway. The final piece of evidence comes from God of War 3's ending. When Ghost Athena appears, she reveals she sacrificed herself not to save Zeus, but to save Kratos, to keep him alive for a greater purpose. She says, "I knew what you would become. I saw your potential when you first took the throne of the God of War." But Kratos became the God of War after killing his family. which means Athena knew what would happen in that temple. She knew Lysandra and Calliope would die, and she let it happen because she needed Kratos to become this specific version of himself, the man so consumed by guilt and rage that he could destroy Olympus. Athena didn't just allow the tragedy, she orchestrated it, and Kratos, through his blood oath and his warrior's pride, willingly participated. So here's the complete theory. Kratos didn't just accidentally kill his family. In his blood oath-induced rage, he had a split second where he recognized them, and he killed them anyway, because stopping would mean breaking his oath to Ares, which would result in his own death. He chose his own survival over their lives, and that's the choice that destroyed him. This explains why Kratos is so different in the Norse games. It's not just about getting older or wiser. It's about a man who knows he had a choice and made the wrong one, trying desperately to ensure his son never faces that same moment. When Kratos says, "Close your heart to it," or "Do not be sorry, be better," he's not teaching Atreus to be cold. He's teaching him to think before acting, to choose mercy over pride, to break the cycle that Kratos couldn't break. The real tragedy isn't that Kratos was tricked by Ares. It's that Kratos knows he could have stopped, could have broken the oath and died honorably, and he chose to live instead. The ashes on his skin aren't just a reminder of what he lost. They're a mark of the choice he made. This theory has been circulating in the God of War community for years, and the developers have never fully confirmed or denied it. But the evidence keeps piling up. In God of War Ragnarok, there's a conversation where Mimir asks Kratos about his past, and Kratos says, "I made choices. They haunt me. Not I was forced. Not I was tricked." He says he made choices. And when Freya confronts Kratos about killing Balder, she screams, "You chose to rob me of my son." And Kratos doesn't deny it. He doesn't say, "I had no choice." He simply says, "I know." The game is telling us Kratos has always had choices. And the weight he carries isn't just guilt over the outcome, it's guilt over the choices he made along the way. This reframes the entire series. Kratos isn't a tragic hero manipulated by the gods. He's a man who made terrible choices, is forced to live with them, and is desperately trying to teach his son to choose differently. So that's the dark secret about Kratos that the games hint at, but never fully reveal. He didn't just lose his family, he chose his own life over theirs, even for just a split second. And that choice has defined everything that came after. It makes his journey in the Norse games so much more powerful. This isn't just a redemption arc. This is a man trying to teach his son to be better than him in the most literal sense possible, to make the right choice when it matters most. What do you think? Do you believe Kratos had a moment of choice in that temple? Or is this theory reading too much into the mythology? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into God of War's darkest secret, make sure to hit that subscribe button